Welcome to r/IDontWorkHereLady, where we share stories about folks that are mistaken for employees by irate customers. And the first story is, "Don't work here and can't understand you, sir." Context: I'm French and I live in Paris. So I was supposed to meet a friend after work for a drink that day. But as usual, she was GD late. Like very, very late. And I ended up with an hour to kill. No problem, I was near the Haussmann Boulevard, so I went straight to the Galeries Lafayette's to browse around all the things I can't afford. I usually avoid that place because it's crowded with tourists and not very cozy, but there's several floors of stuff to look at, so perfect to kill time. So here I am walking around browsing. Oh, one thing you need to know. I had an important meeting at work that day, so I was still wearing a black suit with a red tie. Anyway, I was looking at some shirts and heard a deep man's voice speaking English very fast with a really thick accent. It took me some time to notice that he was talking to me. I turned around and saw this very big fellow, still speaking very fast, looking at me. I tried my best, but I swear despite all my efforts, I had no freaking idea what he was saying. I'm not very good with English, but I usually can understand people from all over the world. Not this guy. I could barely catch one or two words like size and shirt, but that's all. The mix between the accent and the way too fast pace was very difficult for me. He was talking so fast that I had to wait maybe a minute to be able to answer. Between two breath of the big guys, I managed to say, "Sorry, I don't speak English." Obviously, it was not something I should have told him. He started to speak even louder. His face turned red and his arms were flying around all over the place. I started to panic a little, but understood that the big guy was asking me for help with his shopping and was not pleased by my performance. I managed to snag another spot between two sentences, just enough to say, "Sorry, I don't work here, sir." Another mistake. He started to speak even louder and faster. I wasn't sure it was possible, but I was wrong. And I had no doubt anymore. This dude was angry at me. Like very, very angry. Finally, an actual employee came to my rescue, wearing, as you can guess, a suit and tie. But before he could say anything, the big fellow started to yell at him while pointing a finger at me. The poor employee looked at me like, "WTF is happening here?" and told me in French, "What does he want? I don't understand him." Surprisingly, hearing people speak in French made the big fellow even more angry. We tried to explain the situation, but all we got in return was a very long gibberish in the word manager. At this point, a woman comes to us with two teenagers by her side, and for one second I had hope that she could calm down the big fellow or help us communicate. My hope crashed down when the lady started to speak with the same terribly thick accent and as fast as the big fellow. Probably the rest of the family, I thought. So here we are, two people screaming in English, pointing fingers, waving arms, calling for a non-existent manager, and throwing a surprisingly big amount of F in between. I was about to leave, but felt sorry for the poor employee. He was looking around for more help, but nobody came to the rescue. We tried everything, our best English, even Google Translate with our phone, but Big Dude was not interested in what we had to say. It became a little bit funny when we started to comment the situation in French. I told the employee, "Do you get anything of this?" "Nope, but I guess you did a terrible job here, mate. Glad you don't actually work here. Look at his face, it's so red. Man, I hope he's not gonna make a heart attack." It made us laugh a little. Terrible mistake again. Big Dude don't like laughing. After a few minutes of this very awkward situation, the Big Dude family dropped on the floor a few articles, gave us a couple more F and left us. On my way out, I saw them dealing with the security staff, and this time, they were the ones yelled at, in French. Made me smile. The second story is, "Don't you dare! Watch me." Preface: I'm a middle-aged guy serving is the correct term technically, in a mid-level staff position at one of the top-level government institutions of my country. Compared to the US, think places like the White House or Congress, or the SCOTUS. It's rather a delicate matter politically, so I can't really name the institutions involved. Sorry about that. Mine is not an English-speaking country, but I'll try my best to use the appropriate terminology here. So here goes. One day about 2 years ago, my boss, B, who is a department head at the aforementioned very important government institution, VIGI, asks me for a favor. Could I please help him out and hand-deliver a certain document to the office of another very important government institution, AVIGI? Now, normally it's not my job to deliver any kind of documents, and besides, I'm sufficiently senior that it's frankly ridiculous to ask that of me in particular. B, of course, knows that, and that is why he's so sheepish about it. In compensation, B offers me to take the rest of the day off. It was about noon on Friday, and we worked till 4:45 p.m. on Fridays. That was sufficiently tempting. B was nice about it too. He's generally a nice person to work with, so I agreed. This being a semi-official business, I could have requested an official government car to ride me VIP style to the AVIGI building. But it was a nice summer day, not a cloud in sight, and the AVIGI building is just a half-hour walk from our own, so I decided against ordering a car for myself. Not to mention being a government bureaucracy dealing with the required paperwork. Took the document, a letter printed on a typograph VIGI letterhead, from B to a department head at AVIGI, let's call that person addressee, and went on my merry way. Arriving at the AVIGI building, I called the addressee's mobile number, provided by B, and she asked to please drop the letter off at the incoming correspondence desk, ICD. The AVIGI building is every bit as grand and sprawling as you might expect it to be, so locating which entrance to take in order to get to the ICD took some time. Turns out it's located in a side entrance. Finally, I'm standing in front of a wooden, mahogany window with AVIGI's ICD in gilded lettering. I knock. Me, hello? Could you please take a document? ICD lady, give it here. Me, thank you, have a nice day. ICD lady, no wait, I can't take that document. Me, why not? ICD lady, for us to accept any kind of documents here, they need to be in a sealed and properly addressed envelope. I'm already dying a bit inside. How naive of me to imagine it would be this easy. It means we at VIGI have a formidable bureaucracy of our own, but these AVIGI people really take it to the next level. Me, oh no problem, give me an envelope and I'll put it in and address it. ICD lady, what? No, of course we don't hand out envelopes. Ridiculous, you have to bring your own. Me, look, my document is already addressed right on the first page. It's on an official letterhead too, so it's not like you wouldn't know what to do with it. ICD lady, for us to accept any kind of documents here, they need to be in a sealed and properly addressed envelope. Yes, she really did repeat herself word for word verbatim, and she shuts the mahogany window in my face. Me, okay. I take back my document and call the addressee on my cell phone. Upon hearing the addressee's name, ICD lady immediately opens her window back and perks up. Me, the ICD refuses to take the letter because it's not in an envelope. Could someone please come here and take it? Addressee, yes of course, I'll send my secretary right away. ICD lady, no, you're lying. Who said I won't take the document? Of course I'll take it. Give it to me. Give it to me now. She actually leans out of her window and tries to snatch the letter out of my hands. Me, thank you, but I decided to deliver it myself. So I exit back to the street and walk around to the front of the building, figuring I'll just meet with whoever was going to meet me midway. And then I have this idea. Our official government-issued VIGI IDs are, theoretically, valid in all the federal-level institutions, including AVIGI. So let's put that theory to the test. Of course, the RFID chip in my ID only works in my own office, so the turnstiles won't open for me automatically, but nothing prevents me from showing it to a guard manually, so to speak. I walk through the main entrance and present my VIGI ID to the police officer on guard. They make a great show of inspecting it, huffing and puffing importantly, and then open up the visitor's turnstile for me without a word. That's my first time inside the AVIGI building, actually. I call the addressee again and ask for directions. She explains where her office is and I go there. Up a flight of stairs, left, then suddenly a young lady almost runs into me. Young lady, are you from VIGI? Me, yes. Young lady, I'm the addressee's secretary. Please give me the letter. I hand it over. Young lady, thank you. Have a nice day. Me, you're welcome. Have a nice day. And that's that. Nah, just kidding. It wouldn't be an I Don't Work Here Lady story, would it? Just as I was about to descend the stairs back down, somebody grabbed me by the sleeve of my jacket. I was already stepping down, and that sleeve grab almost made me lose my balance. Fortunately for everyone involved, I managed to stay on my feet and not roll down the stairs. I turn and there's this young lady. Well, likely in her 30s really, but that's young for me. By all accounts, a junior AVIGI staffer, JAS. Me, taking her hand off my sleeve because she's still grabbing me. Excuse me, junior staffer, handing me some papers. Take this. Me, what is this? Junior staffer, this needs to be taken to VIGI immediately. Ah, so that's what it's about. I think to myself. She heard I'm from VIGI and wants to use the opportunity to pass some documents with me. Mind you, I do not at this point even realize that was actually an I Don't Work Here Lady moment. Me, sure, I can take these papers to VIGI, but that'd be only on Monday if that's alright by you. Junior staffer, I can't believe what I'm hearing. Me, well you should, because it's true. Junior staffer, I can't believe what I'm hearing! Me, Junior staffer, you know that I can take your job away like that. And she snaps her fingers right in my face. Like that! Snaps fingers in my face a second time. Now it dawns on me. She thinks I'm a courier working for AVIGI, delivering their documents. I'm actually dressed in a suit and a tie. Not top of the line maybe, but quite expensive and nice looking, even if I do say so myself. And I have no idea how anyone in their right mind can mistake me for a courier. Even an AVIGI courier, for that matter. Junior staffer, do you even know who I am? Huh? Huh? No, and I couldn't care less, actually. You're an entitled, dumb, useless junior staffer whom I'm quite sure I outrank by several pay grades. My civilian rank actually corresponds to that of a military lieutenant colonel. and I only need to flash my VIGI ID for you to see that. But I don't say any of that. Suddenly, the immense responsibility of being a representative of VIGI weighs down on me. I need to stay professional. Sooner or later, she'll know who I am anyway. Me: no, madam, I don't. Junior staffer: I'm her position of her department of AVIGI. Do you understand what that means? Oh, I understand, all right. It means you're a friggin' sergeant major SH talking to a lieutenant colonel, and that I outrank you by no less than 6 pay grades. Me: this is probably a misunderstanding of sorts. I do not actually work here. You see, I'm… Junior staffer: I don't effing care. I need these documents at VIGI right now. Now get to it. Me: I'll try again. Junior staffer: don't you effing talk back to me. I'll have not only your job, but your boss's job too. That's unlikely. My boss is appointed directly by the chairman of VIGI and can only be fired by him or her. And our chairman? No, not even appointed by the president of my country. That is for lowly cabinet ministers and the like, but voted into office by the country's parliament after being nominated by the president. Nobody can fire them. But sure, let me play along. Me: got it, I'll take your documents. Junior staffer: you better. Me: and deliver them to VIGI. Junior staffer: you better. Me: though, like I said, that would be on Monday. Junior staffer: don't you dare. Me: you know these aren't in a sealed and addressed envelope, right? Junior staffer: what? I'm not in the mood for your jokes. Now off with you. Was there anyone else in the entire world, except Junior staffer that is, who thought that I wouldn't dare to show up at my own office on Monday? Probably not. Come Monday morning, I drop off Junior staffer's documents at our own version of the incoming correspondent's office. Nobody's ever been harassed there on the matter of envelopes, I'll have you know. And the following conversation ensues. Our IC lady: oh, would you look at that? Those lazy ARs at the AVIGI thinking they're so special. Dials internal phone number: department so-and-so. The AVIGI's response to our precept that you've been waiting for is finally here. Took their sweet time, they did. Yes, I know, the deadline expired on Friday. Their official response is registered as being received on today's business day. Yes, I'm positive. To me: oh, once the chairman hears about this, how heads will roll there. Oh my. Update: due to an overwhelming public interest in the ultimate fate of Junior staffer, I've decided to provide. Now, please don't get your hopes up. If I'd have known what happened to her, I would have said that in the first place. On the level of staff, as opposed to political leaders, 99% of all interaction between our institutions is done through written correspondence. While I do have access to AVIGI's phone directory, it's not the one they use themselves internally, and only has very senior staff members, so Junior staffer was never in it in the first place. However, I figured out a way to gather some circumstantial evidence for you. The way bureaucracy works around here, most external, and even internal for that matter, documents, have the name of the person who prepared it, not to be confused, of course, with the person who signed it, printed in smaller size font either on the front or on the back, and once the document is registered in our system, that person's name is also entered and stored. In fact, that's how I learned Junior staffer's name in the first place. She was the one responsible for the document she wanted delivered. Remember, she only told me her position, not her name. So, I did some searches, and here's the results. Junior staffer's last name appears sporadically in the database before summer of 2016, when the story above took place, but not a single document received by us has her name on record after a certain point later that year, and all the way to today's date. Personally, I do not for a second think she was fired. You wouldn't believe how hard it is to fire a federal government employee around here, even more so at top-level institutions like VIGI or AVIGI, where all the laws are followed strictly to the letter. You have to either mishandle state secrets or otherwise seriously break the law to achieve that. What I believe did happen, however, is that one or more instances of major infractions, and missing the deadline on our precept is considered quite major indeed, got her into a warm embrace of the Performance Review Board. The result of that, quite probably, got her sufficiently demoted that she no longer works with any kind of outgoing documentation whatsoever. This is further evidenced by the time passed from our memorable encounter to the last document registered in our system with her name mentioned on file: 6 weeks. That's about how much time it takes for the Performance Review Board to convene, and the following reassignment paperwork to be completed in our organization too. Thanks for listening. Bye!